Hello and welcome again to Scott Schilling Speaks. I'm your host, Scott Schilling. Excited to have you here today because I've got a great friend. We're going to talk about something that's fairly unique and something I think you need to know about. Rocky is a quantum emotional healer, and we're going to get into exactly what that means as we go through this here today. But please welcome my guest, Rocky Krogfoss. Rocky, glad you're
Rocky
here.
Krogfoss,
Krog,
Kragfoss, whatever you want to say, it's
Well,
fine.
it's in Swede,
Totally,
you
it's a Swede.
You
Yeah,
Nordics, you always throw me off with all that.
yeah. Well, it's for a joke, I always say Krufus,
Yeah,
and just throw in a sardine or two, pickled sardine, and we're off to the races. Uh,
exactly. So, eh, Rocky, help everybody understand what a quantum emotional healer is, first of all, and then we'll talk about what you do.
well, I like to start off by saying what I am not. I am not an energy healer. I want to
Okay.
make that clear. 25 years ago, I had to do a lot of healing myself, and I started doing some healing work with a channeling healer. And from that, I began to learn about energy, and I was guided to quantum physics. So what I do is I'm an expert in the science, the quantum sciences of healing the body. I do a webinar called Who Are You? And who you are is a consciousness energy field or conscious energy field with information. So what I do as a quantum emotional healer, which is different from all the others, is I work with what I call informational patterns that are either from your inner child or ancestral lineage or from the patriarchal mindset, which have what I call low frequency vibrations, which means unworthiness, fear, and limitation. As you and I both know, childhoods can be sometimes traumatic,
Mhm.
and that can leave what I call an emotional scar that plays out over and over and over again on your tape. So what I do as a quantum emotional healer is I help you go into the storage space, which is in your quantum DNA, and release that information so that we can replace it with new information. It's very much like a computer. If you got a virus, you let the virus go and you replace it with a program that's appropriate for your body. So that's what I do, and it's very, very effective at any type of physical pain or mental health issue.
So I know we've talked a lot about personally migraines and things like that, um, even PTSD. So many different things that are mental traumas that you have an approach to help them heal. Correct?
That is correct. And to be fair, I've been able to heal or help people heal or release the pain of migraine headaches and different types of pain very quickly, usually in one session. However, there's long-term programming that needs to be looked at as well. So the same can be said about mental health issues. People can sometimes feel much better after just one session with me, but we have to, of course, I got to bring up my prop now. And I ask people, what is this? And they'll say, it's an iPhone. I'll say, no, it's not. This is the floppy disk. I'm dating myself. Floppy disk from your subconscious mind. I just pulled it out and I hit on switch and I take a look and I go, oh, look at all these unworthiness, fear-based and limiting programs. We have work to do. So that's what I do is I help you release the programs that are causing you subconsciously, not consciously. I don't work with the brain at all because it only contributes 3% to your reality. Your subconscious mind contributes 97% to your reality. So mental health, pain, these are things that can be quote unquote easily healed depending on the willingness of the client to surrender their resistance to healing.
So
And
is it fair to say that everybody has got some junk in the trunk? Everybody's got some stuff from
abs-
childhood?
absolutely. And if you don't think you have it there, give me an hour session, a free hour session, and I'll find you a trunk of junk.
Yeah, I mean it and it comes the thing that I find so fascinating with all this is it all happens typically before the age of 7, correct?
Your inner child, this is what they call it, downloads. Of course, you're a baby and you come into this world and you start downloading information right away from all your environment, including your parents. Most of your programming that's running, or 80% of your programming running in your adult body today, was downloaded into your body before the age of 7. So when you think about it, what did you learn at that age? Well, you learned a lot of, we'll use the term cautious training from your parents. No, don't do that. No, don't say that. No, don't touch that.
Mhm.
Stop it. You're stupid. Stop it, or you're going to get a smack. All kinds of things that we learn that are, subconsciously traumatic, and eventually lead to a program called I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not worthy of love. And that program is on a tape. It just plays out over and over and over again throughout your whole life. And if you were to sit back and do what I do with clients and connect the dots, you would see that that is true. And awareness of that is so powerful, because it helps you focus on actually healing it. Because rather than going like, I tried and I tried and, went and saw the doctor and he said, take these pills or whatever. We actually go to the root cause of each malady that you're experiencing, and we help you release it. It's that simple. But it takes work, it takes surrender, it takes authenticity, it takes honesty, it takes a willingness to look in the mirror and say, I learned these programs. I'm not a bad person. I just learned these programs, and these programs are playing out and it's causing this. So I'm not stupid. I'm not wrong. I'm not bad. What I am is programmed to suffer, or, you know, um, um, experience trauma, or whatever it is, pain. And pain is just an absolute unworthiness to receive love. So these are
So
things. Yeah,
so
go ahead.
pain is just really an indication of a behavioral pattern or a process that you've been programmed with at a much earlier age.
Yes, and I would agree with that 100%. And even if you ask a doctor straight out, and I've done this because I like to play with doctors because they're so easy to play with, um, what is pain? And they'll go on and on about some nonsense that, physical pain and this, that. And I say, no, no, pain is an emotional response to a trauma. It's the cellular body's way of saying something needs to be fixed. It's just an energy field with information. That's all it is. And because I've been able to put that into my mindset, and walk away from the entire medical mindset, I've been able to introduce people to the potential of outside the box thinking that has science base to it, that is highly effective, because the medical system will not listen to this science and this process, because it doesn't involve taking pills. It doesn't involve making billions of dollars. It just involves helping you heal the pain,
So
very simply.
what's the so if pain becomes the symptom, it's simply the flag that's saying
You got a program.
something isn't right here. There's a
Yeah,
program that's stuck. So if you're working to be a high achiever and a true performer, the chances are you've got something um, that may hold you back if you don't
yeah.
address it. Correct?
Absolutely true. This applies not only to healing, but also applies to, you can use the term healing, your mindset to be successful. Absolutely true. Unworthiness is a very insidious program, and it's just everywhere. There's lots of people feeding unworthiness to you. And in business, when your inner child doesn't feel safe to step out and take risks and move forward with a positive attitude, and a longing to succeed, there's something in there that's saying, who do you think you are? And it might be your mother, it might be your father, it might not be any of those. It might be just a program that you've downloaded from society. But whatever it is, it's just a program, And it's something that can be shifted and changed to, I am worthy of success. I receive the love and blessings of success now. And when you can believe that from your belief systems, your intentions, your belief systems, your feelings, when it's all aligned to that, you will succeed. And the most successful people on the planet have that already. Like, you look at, what's his name, Virgin Airlines there, that
Richard
guy.
Branson.
Yeah, no, that guy has it in spades. He's aligned. Even his language reflects it. And that's important too. So yes, there's definitely room for healing. We'll call it roadblocks to success. Absolutely.
So if you are on a path that you feel is a really solid path, but you're having multiple things that maybe don't allow the vision that you have to come through, is it more than likely something from the inner child from way earlier that you may or may not even know about that's holding you back?
I would say 100% guaranteed. Yes, that's it. You've just described the actual human process, that we all experience. We all come into life. We have these two parents, and no parents are perfect. And of course, their parents learned it from their parents, learned it from their parents, learned it from their parents. So that's why we call it ancestral lineage. And inevitably, there's a lot of unworthiness in there. Different levels, of course, with each family, but judgment, anger, shame, scarcity, scarcity, scarcity. So these things are all programs that can be released and reprogrammed to, I choose to receive the abundance I'm worthy of. And it sounds crazy, but it's a frequency. As Einstein once said, the entire universe is a frequency, and that's true.
Okay.
So if your frequency does not match your intention, it's not going to work. The two have to match in order to manifest what you are longing for. And so it's that simple. So if the frequency on one side, the subconscious side, which is your creator, is, I don't know if I can do this. Looks like it's hard. I don't feel comfortable with this. I'm not good enough. If your intention is to be successful and have a six-figure income, the two have to match. It's that simple.
Okay. That makes sense. So how do you identify it, or how does somebody say, wait a second, things aren't going as well as I'd like them to go. I need to talk to Rocky. How does this either decision get made, or what is something that helps open the eyes of our listeners here to have them understand that there's probably something going on and it can probably be fixed?
Well, I would suggest the easiest way is to become aware of what happened in your childhood, because a lot of people, they once they're aware of it, they're able to talk about it. But because our society and our medical system, just blanks out on this stuff and says it's nonsense, people disregard it. So I just say, become aware and let yourself sort of draw back into the inner child just for a minute or two, and just remember the feelings of certain things that happened that made you unhappy or sad or not feel good enough, and you'll be able to feel the programs that are blocking you today. And then all you do is just give me a call, and we'll do a free session, and I'll show you exactly what's going on, and you'll recognize it, you'll feel it, and you'll be completely aware of the fact that it feels like a block. And once we get started, we can clean that up.
So again, if you're ever feeling um, like, gosh, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but the results are not what I would like them to be, that would
Yep.
be an indication to give you a call.
That would be an indication that you're thinking way too much. Why would you use 3% of your reality to create your reality when you've got 97% here? 3% is really, really, really hard work. And so what you're really doing is creating a whole lot of stress, which in and of itself blocks you from success. So let's use the tools that you were born with that you were not aware of because of, like I say, medical systems and that kind of thing. Why not use your power source, which is ease and grace, which allows you to create what you want in a much, much easier way than trying to grind through it through the old business mindset, which I call, push hard, become a champion, be a winner. All these things are forced energy and they don't actually create anything. Anybody that says they do, I don't believe them. And so we want to shift to, getting into the flow, as they would say in, the Chinese Qi, getting into the flow of creation. And creation is whatever you want to create, but you have to believe it. That's the other thing. If you don't believe that you're worthy of it, that you can, all of these different beliefs, if you don't believe it, you will not succeed. So my job is to encourage gentleness and the shifting of a belief system, and literally create a new belief system, let the old one go, create a new belief system in self, taking care of self first. Where does that happen? Especially for women, they don't even know what it means, taking care of self. So men can do it too, but men are allowed to do it now because it's okay to take care of yourself now. It's not the old male warrior who goes out and defeats the dragon and comes home with the meat and says, "There you go, huh? No, by the way, that thing you were talking about last week, I've got the fix for it." It's a good way to create hell.
Very, very true. So again, I think it's fascinating. The reality is we're all energy, and that's really where the whole quantum science and quantum fields comes behind this.
Yes.
Um, and pain is trapped energy in essence.
It's trapped emotional information in an energy field.
Oh, okay.
It's like, mom said I was a stupid idiot. So you sit here and you go like this and you just trap that energy in your body, and then it plays out wherever it plays out. It plays out in your neck or your back or your knees or your hip or migraine headaches, whatever. So that's just, I call it a quantum field with information. Now, if the information within that quantum field says I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm stupid, or I'm wrong, or I can never do anything right, you're going to create that, and you're going to create the pain that reflects that. It's a frequency. So by going in there and gently releasing that belief, you begin to feel better right away, and you prove to yourself that it's just a quantum field with information, because you do feel better. The pain goes away. I think you can relate to that, right?
Yes, I can. I mean, we've been working together, and definitely have pain releasing out of my body and feeling much better along the way. The the, the thing that I think is so amazing to me is that many times, and you and I have had this as we've been working together, there were things that I had no recollection of whatsoever that once I became aware of them, even asking my older sister about things that happened growing up, she shared with me things that I had no memory of whatsoever that um, had an effect on me. And
Yeah,
how many people do you think suffer similarly?
everyone. Everyone has stuff that happened that's buried, because that's what we do in our society. That's what we're taught to do. Go ahead and bury this feeling, and be a man and suck it up, and no crying, quit your whining, just suck it up and bury that damn thing because you're a man. Stop it. Or, here, take this pill and it'll wipe out your memory. It'll give you horrible side effects, but it'll wipe out your memory.
Yeah, no, it was amazing to me to recognize that I had some old tapes playing of
Right,
things that I didn't even know existed until
right,
we had done some investigation. And like I said, I talked to my sister who is 11 years older, and she recalled things. again, where I might have been 4, 5, 6, she's 15, 16, 17. She's got a different view
Perspective.
of different perspective, different view
Yes.
of those things. And it was amazing to then share some of that information with you. And we were able to work on that and get release from those things that had no clue were there in the first place. So
No.
if everybody has things like that, how do we how do we help them achieve their greatest potential going forward?
Well, we introduce them to the concept, which is what we're doing today, of how you heal old traumas and old feelings and experiences that were, not very pleasant, that are now stuck inside the body. Imagine a trauma happens and a bunch of mud flies into the air and it sticks to your cells of your body, and it's still sticking to your cells of your body. Well, we just go in and we gently release them through the process of self-love, which is a very foreign concept to just about everybody. When you say self-love, people sort of go like, that feels uncomfortable. How do you love yourself? What do you mean love yourself? of
Yeah,
course, of course I love myself. And then I go through it and we go like, no, you're not loving yourself. That's just a brain trying to create a band-aid for you. And so this is about complete authenticity, completely open, like you did. And you just allowed the information to come to the surface, floating to the surface. You were able to feel the feelings at that point, the trauma. And we just went in and we gently released that trauma by giving that boy the love that he needs. It's intentional. And intentions at a quantum level are everything.
so then your vibration rises,
Yes.
and as it raises and you vibrate at a different level, you attract different things, correct?
Absolutely true. So you heal the pain and you're at a new frequency. And of course, life is about frequency. So life will meet you at that frequency, whereas before life was meeting you at this frequency. So you raise your frequency and you keep it there. And of course, it's more loving and more positive. So of course, you're going to change your reality. You're going to change your business success. You're going to change your relational success. You're going to change your money success. You're going to change your health success. And so I'm not here to say that what I do heals everything in the body. I'm here to say that it's a very important, misunderstood part of an overall health plan, which involves multiple inputs. I'm just one of them, but I'm a very important one because nobody has really ever dealt with this before.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking we're at such a critical time on the planet right now. I
Yes.
mean, we've come through a year and a half of um, pandemic and upset and so many different things. Uh, and I was going to say, I said that we've come through it. Some people have come through it, and other countries um, are still having their things. How big a disruption is what's been going on to people's ability to succeed, or how much has it thrown them back, and all of a sudden they realize their inner child issues for the first time?
Yeah. The first thing I'll say is the massive amount of unworthiness, which Stanford University did a study on. The average person is about 80%. 80% of your beliefs are contain unworthiness. That unworthiness times 7 billion people actually allowed this pandemic to be created. Now, this pandemic has reflected so much unworthiness, so much of so many people just follow along blindly, like a zombie. And now they're starting to wake up and realize, what the hell's going on here? And they're starting to think for themselves now. Finally, they're not listening to the news and following it blindly. They're not listening to the politicians and following it blindly. Down in the States, you have such a gong show with your political system. It's really quite it's so diverse now. It's so fractured,
Yes.
that Americans' freedoms is definitely at risk here. And the more Americans that wake up and just say, I stand for freedom, I don't care what party it is, I don't care who it is, just show me the way to freedom so that I can succeed and live the dream that all Americans deserve and all people of the world deserve.
And that's being said by a Canadian, by the way. So again, want to and that's what I was saying. Canada, you're under some severe lockdowns and issues different than we have here in the United States. But it is amazing to also gain different perspectives around the world. It's one thing I enjoy about the show and
Yes.
what we're doing with Be Connected, being able to talk to people around the world on a daily basis to hear um, the differences. But again, there's been a disruption in the quantum field, right? There's a energy is different, has definitely been impacted, and that's why this is so fascinating uh,
It is.
to to learn about, and I would encourage everybody to learn. uh, Geez, we're already running up on time. um,
Yeah.
how about one last little word of wisdom or nugget or something that people can grab onto to understand a topic that they may be hearing about for the first time?
I encourage them to go to my website, www.migraine1mastery.com, fill out the form, and I promise you we'll do an hour session, and whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to reveal, we'll get there, I promise. It's a gift, and it'll help shift and change your entire world. So my word of wisdom is give me a chance to show you what I can do, and you'll be surprised, much like you were when I offered you healing help, because you didn't know anything about what I did. So the bottom line is just give me a chance to show you what I can do, and we'll go from there. And you'll become aware of so many things, and you'll learn how to become aware of so many things.
And I think that that's the greatest opportunity is, you know, one of my mentors taught me a long time ago, growth equals awareness plus inspired action. So
Right.
if you truly want to grow in your life, if you want to grow in your health, you want to grow in your business, you first need to be aware that there's a different possibility available to you. And
And
when
what
you
that
and I when you and I first met, that was the first thing is I learned that there was an awareness. But then the next thing is you have to take the inspired action towards it. You have to investigate it. I would encourage you all to take Rocky up on his offer here, because as a client myself and the things that we've worked on, um, we've made amazing progress in freeing me up from things that I didn't even know I need to be freed up from. I mean, I think that that's the part that is the is as amazing as anything else. Is understanding that there are ways to uh, truly live life full out. Get to that next level, right, Rocky?
absolutely true. Absolutely true. If you imagine the average person now is surrounded by fear, and they're doing this, and fear of COVID, and fear of this, and fear of lockdowns, and fear of judgment, and fear of wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, fear of the vaccine or not getting the vaccine. um, it's so limiting. And when you give yourself a chance to let go of this limitation and create this space and breathe again, you can think clearly again, and you can see through all of the illusions that are being created on this planet and start to live your life your way according to your rules, not according to their rules. That's the big difference.
Yeah, I love that. So again, list your site and how to get a hold of you again, if you would.
Sure. My phone number is area code 604 802 6390 in Canada, Vancouver, Canada, And my email is stressfreeme99@gmail.com. And my website, once again, is www.migraine, the number one, mastery.com. there's a form on that page you can fill out, easy peasy, and I'll contact you for a free healing session.
Awesome. Thank you for being here today, Rocky. Really appreciate it. We'll have to do this again so we can talk about more developments as time goes. Thank you all for joining us here on Scott Schilling Speaks. Greatly appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. God bless. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.